So let's start with this Azure Databricks. Okay, guys. So as we know that the Azure Databricks is a service provided by the Microsoft for the ETL. I'm just brushing up once to before we move further. Okay, guys. So ETL, that is called as what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. Wherein all of you, I'm audible to everyone.
Yeah, yes, Samir.
So basically, for this particular process of ETL, okay, guys. So for this particular process of ETL, we require the following. What is that? We require the source. That means the source of data. And whereas from the source of data, what we do, we pick up the data. Yes, guys, from the source of data, we pick up the data. And now once the data is picked up, the same will be loaded into the target. So hence we require the two things. What is that? Source of data and target. Target means what? Destination where you want to load the data. So between the source and the target, we use the ETL. Okay. So whereas we are performing this by using the ADB, that is called as what? Azure Databricks. Okay, guys. So to perform this, the ADB requires all of you. The ADB requires the Azure Databricks. Okay, guys. The Azure Databricks requires the following. What is that? It requires the first one. It requires as what is that? Okay, that is nothing but ADB requires the data. So whereas when it comes to the data, so data we can get it from what? Files. We can get the data from databases. We can get the data. Okay, we can get the data from what is that? Files, or we can get the data from a database. Okay, or databases, whatever we see it. Okay, so we can get the data from the files or database, or we can get the data from what is that? Yes, guys, we can get the data from what is that? Files,
web also.
Yeah, from the okay, okay, from the live streaming data, you can say it. Okay, live streaming data. Okay. Okay, so we can get the live streaming data, etc. So various sources we can get the data, whereas from this particular source, what we do is we get the data into what is it? Azure. First of all, we get the data into what is it? Azure. So how do we get the data into Azure? By using the service called what? ADB. By using the service called what is that? ADB. Okay, guys. So by using the service called ADB, we get the data into what is that? Azure. So Azure, after the data is extracted here, it requires the data to be stored in the form of what is that? Storages. Am I right, guys? In the form of what? Storages. So now what are the storages you have it? Tell me now. You can have what is it? The following storages. Yes, already I told you what are the storages. Storages in Azure, isn't it or not? Storages in Azure. So guys, what are the storages in Azure you have it? The first one is what? Azure
Blob storage.
Very good. Azure Blob Storage. Yes, the next
Gen
one.
1. Gen
Yes.
1, Gen 2.
Yes, you have what is it? Azure Data Lake. Yes, guys. Azure Data Lake Gen 1.
Gen 1, Gen 2.
Yeah, Gen 1, or else we can also say the Gen 2 here. So what is the difference between the Gen 1 and Gen 2, guys?
Gen 1 is going to get depreciated in 24. Gen 2 is the new structure Azure will be using.
So that's the thing, that is nothing but it's going to retire. This is going to retire in 2024. And now, so the whole data is being migrated. Can you see it? The whole data is being migrated from what is that? The whole data is migrating right now from what is that? From this Gen 1 to what is it? Gen 2.
Gen 2.
Just a minute. Hello. Gen 1 to Gen 2. Okay. Okay, guys, sorry. So now we have it. The next one, what is it? You have your storages. So fourth storage, what is it? You have it? Azure.
SQL DB.
Just a minute. Yeah, sorry. So actually, so guys, what is it? You have it? Azure Blob Storage, Azure Data Lake Gen 1, Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Whereas the entire data, we are migrating it from the Gen 1 to Gen 2. Okay. And then what is it? You have it? Azure, what is that? Azure SQL DB. So guys, Azure SQL DB, that is nothing but Azure SQL database. Okay. So apart from this, guys, we can also have the storage called, what is that? So Azure, that is Cosmos. Am I audible to everyone? Cosmos DB.
Yes.
Azure Cosmos DB, where we also call it as what? NoSQL database. Okay. So likewise, can you see here, guys? Likewise, you can see we have altogether how many storages, guys? Any idea? We have what? 90 plus storages. How many storages? 90 plus storages is provided in Azure. Getting my point? Okay. Okay, 90 plus storages. 90 plus storages. Okay. We can have, what is it? 90 plus storages. 90 plus storages. Okay, guys. 90 plus storages. Okay. We have, what is it? 90 plus storages. So provided in Azure. Whereas these storages, we can use it in what? ADB. So that means whenever you wanted to use the ADB, that is Azure Databricks, whenever you wanted to use the Azure Databricks, whenever you wanted to use the Azure Databricks, okay, first of all, we need to get the data into what's it? Azure. And after the data is extracted into the Azure, the data will be stored into what is that? Azure storages. Okay. So what are the storages? These are all the storages. Okay. Based on the data. If you have some unstructured data, some messy data is there, that will be stored in the blob. Any kind of data, you can store it in blob, guys. Okay. Any kind of data. And if you have the formatted data, that is structured data, that will be stored in what is that? Yes, that will be stored in what? SQL database. So likewise, based on the data, we can choose the storage of saving the data. That's it. Okay. So we have altogether 90 plus storages in Azure. Now, this, I think this point is clear for you. Now, guys, let us start with, even I'll tell you, let us brush it up. What are the components? Components in ADB. Tell me now, what are the components in ADB? Yes.
So we have workspace. Under workspace, we have, I think, cluster. Under cluster, we have notebooks.
So basically, of course, that is nothing but the sequence we have it. Whereas the components is not in ADB. the components. That means without this, you cannot move the process. So components in ADB, the first component is called as what? Pipeline. Yes, am I right? Pipeline. And the second one we have, what is it? Mount points. We have, what's it? Mount points. And the third one, or the pipeline mount points. And the next one, what is it? We have it. Tell me.
Data sets.
Yes, guys,
Data
did you
sets.
remember it? All of you? Pipeline mount points.
Data
Pipeline
sets.
mount points. Then we have, what is that? Yes.
Data sets.
We have the pipeline. We have the mount points. All of you did you remember it? Yes, guys.
Yeah, data sets. Third point. Component.
Please come out. Are you following it or not? Because if not, I'll do something. I'll repeat or I'll take up some other thing. Please, guys. I want a reply from you guys.
Yes, got it. This one.
Yes.
Next point.
Hello?
Next component is.
Am I
data set.
audible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
I'm audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Samir sir could not able
Yes,
to
guys,
listen
I'm
to
audible.
us.
I'm audible, guys.
Yes, sir.
You are audible, sir, but you can't hear us. Hello.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. So now, guys. Okay. So I am not able to hear you people. Anyways, that is the reason. So, anyways, these are the things we have: it, pipeline. Then we have a mount points. Then we have what is that? Triggers. Yes, guys. Then you have the triggers, and then we have what is that? Tell me. Triggers. Okay. We have the mount points, triggers, pipeline. Yes, data sets. These are all what is that? These are all what is that? Yes, guys. These are all called what? Yes, and even the activities. Yes, the fifth one, what is it? Activities. Activities. These are all called as what is that, guys? These are all called as what? Components in ADB. These are all called as what? Components in ADB. What's that? Pipeline, mount point, triggers, data sets, activities. Okay. Yes, I'm not able to hear you guys. Anyways, might be some network issue. Okay, you can type it. Okay. So anyways, the sixth one, what is it? You have it. Even you have the data flows. Okay, guys, we have what is it? Data flows. So what is my data flows? Data flows are nothing but these are called as what? Actually, it is called as what? Mapping data flows. It is called as what? Mapping data flows. That means actually these are the transformations. These are called as what? Transformations. These are called as what, guys? Transformations. Yes, transformations is equal to data flow. The same thing. Okay, transformation is equal to data flow. Okay. Okay, so now transformation. So here we call it as what? Transformations. So transformations are nothing but basically these are called as what? Data flows, which is called as what? Mapping data flows. That's it. Okay, guys. So the first one is what's that? Pipeline, mount point, triggers, data set, activities, and mapping data flow. These are the components we have it. Apart from this, okay, guys, apart from this, when it comes to the next one, so here, how to start up the bricks session and what are the applications or what are the sessions we require it. So we require the following for starting a Databricks. So starting a Databricks, guys, using the Databricks. First of all, Databricks. Under the Databricks, all of you, under the Databricks, you will have what is it? Workspace. You will have the workspace, and under the workspace, guys, you can have what is it? That means many workspace can have on one session. Okay, one session. We can have what? Many workspace we can have on what? One session. Okay, that's it. So now, guys, anyways, Databricks will stand on what is that? Yes, resource group. So first of all, resource group is very mandatory. Resource group. So guys, on the resource group, you will have workspace. And that means one resource group can have many workspace. And now, guys, and then next one was it? What is it? You have it. Next one is clusters. clusters, okay, or cluster. One, we can have, what is that, a workspace can have, what is that, multiple clusters. A workspace can have, what is that, multiple clusters, okay. And resource group can have whatever, multiple resource, so that is workspace. And cluster can have, what is that, multiple clusters. We can store it in what, one workspace. And now what is the next one? You have it, next one we have it as what, guys? The next one we have a notebook. Notebook. So what do you mean notebook? Ultimately the notebook is nothing but, it is called as a user interface to write the program. It is nothing but called as what, user interface to write the program, okay guys. It is called as what, user interface to write the program. It is called as a user interface to write the program. So now guys, the code you in ADB, the code in Azure Databricks, guys, the code in Azure Databricks, we can write in how many languages? The first one is what, called as what, Python. We call it as what, Python. And the second one we call it as what, guys? Tell me now. R. And the next one we call it as what? Scala. Yes guys, we call it as what? Scala. So then afterward the Scala, what is that other language you can have? We can have SQL. That is called as what? Structured query language. Got it, all of you? Structured query language. So now guys, these are the things we have it. That means you can write the code here onto this notebook. The notebook can write, or we can write in the notebook we can write the in a notebook we can write the commands in, what is that, 4 different languages. That is called as what? SQL, Scala, R, and Python. SQL, Scala, R, and Python. So in these 4 different languages we can write the commands in a notebook. Okay, now guys, next one, what is it? We can have multiple notebooks on a single cluster, but without this particular attachment, the notebook cannot run without a text, without a cluster. Make sure, without a cluster the notebook cannot run, okay guys. So notebook we must and should have it. So for running the notebook we must and should have a cluster. And the next one, we can have, what is that, multiple clusters. We can have, what is that, multiple clusters in a workspace. And we can have, what is that, multiple workspace in a single resource group. Likewise, everything is, here you can have what, multiple notebooks on a single cluster, and multiple clusters on a single workspace, and multiple workspace on a single resource group. Getting my point? This is the hierarchy we have it. Okay guys, that's it. Okay, so now guys, next one, what is it? You have it, clusters. So now guys, clusters. So basically today we will discuss type of clusters. Now guys, basically the clusters. Okay, what do you mean clusters? Now I will explain you the clusters and we will see it once. Okay, so anyways, clusters. Basically clusters are nothing but, all of you, clusters are nothing but a group of machines. Okay, group of nodes working on a single task, single or multiple tasks together. Okay, is called as, yes, is called as what? Is called as cluster. Anyways, you will have the recording now. In recording of all these things will be recorded, so you can make it now at this point of time. If you want, you can type it now if you want it, or else anyways the recording will be uploaded. In recording, all these notes will be there now. The whole recording will be there. So guys, can you see here, group of nodes working on a single or multiple, that is single or multiple sessions together, single or multiple session or task session together is called as what? Clusters. Okay guys, cluster. So for example, I'm explaining once again. You have a computer A, guys, and the, just a minute, let me write it one more point. these clusters can have guys, these clusters can have two types of nodes. Nodes means what? Machines. Nodes are nothing but what? Machine. Okay, guys. Nodes are the two type of machine. The first one, I'm writing it here. What is it? You have it? Tell me now. Yes, guys. Tell me now. Master node. Master node. The first one is what? Master node. And the second one is called as slave or worker node. Am I right? Master node and worker node. Okay. Master node and worker node. Master node is mandatory, guys. It will be there, which is also master node is also called as what? Driver node. Driver node. It is also called as what? Driver node. Getting my point, all of you guys? Driver node or master node. Driver node or master node. Okay, guys? Driver node or master node. Very good. Okay. So now, guys, what is it? You have it? Driver node or master node. So this driver node controls the whole session. Okay. And next after this, okay. So this is these are the two things. And now, guys, what is that you can do is clusters you can create. Okay, clusters you can create. That is nothing but in three different modes or three different modes. What is that? Standard mode, single node, and what is that you heard? High concurrency. High concurrency. A cluster can be created in three modes or can host in three different a cluster can be created in three modes or can be hosted in three different that is nothing but three different nodes such as yes, can act as a point. This is also a point, you can say the main point. Okay, such as what is it you have it, guys? Tell me now. The first one is called as what? Standard. I'm writing it A. Standard mode. Standard mode. Okay, or we can say standard node. Standard node. And the next one, what is it you have it? Single node. Third one, high concurrency. Okay, high concurrency node. That's it. High concurrency node. Okay, guys, high concurrency node. Now, guys, here these three. Can you see here? These three. That means the first two, first one and last one, has both the nodes. What is that? Worker node and driver node. Worker. You can say what? Driver node. Driver or master. Driver or master node. And worker or slave node. Can you see it? The first one called standard will have the driver and that is driver and worker node. It will have, and even the last one, what is that you have it? High concurrency, guys. Even the high concurrency has the same, that is driver and the worker node. But now, guys, single node will have only one cluster, or we can have only one node. What is that? Is called as what? Master node. There will be no worker nodes. Master means what? Master. You call it a master or you call it as a driver. Okay, guys. You call it as a driver or master, whatever you wanted. So driver node, master node, whatever you call it, the single node will have only one. That is nothing but there will be no dual machines. There will be no dual machines. Okay, all of you know. Oh, you will not have any two machines. There will be no dual machines. There will be no dual machines. There will be only single machine in the single node. Okay, guys, everyone. Now, when it comes to this master node, and so these are the three type of nodes we can execute it while creating the clusters. Okay, guys. So clusters. So now this is the actual hierarchy we have it. Under a resource group, you will have workspace. Under the workspace, you will have a cluster. On the cluster, we'll have notebook. And on the notebook, we can write the commands in all these languages. Okay, guys, clear now? So now, guys, what is it here? Clusters. So clusters are basically, clusters are what? Basically, it's a group of machines working on a single or more task. Okay, together in a session. That is called as what? Cluster. And cluster has how many types? We have two types of nodes. What is that? Master node and worker node, where a cluster can be created in three modes. Three modes you can create. What's that? Standard mode, single mode, standard mode, single mode, and high concurrency mode. If you have a very large amount of data, very huge, massive data is there, then you can go with the mode called what? High concurrency mode. If you have a normal data, okay, if you have a normal data, that means nothing but not so high and not so less, then you can go with the standard node. And now, guys, single node cluster means when you have very small amount of data, at that time you don't require multiple machines. Single machine will be more than enough. In such case, you can go with what is that? What is it? You can go with the single node cluster. That is called as what? Single node cluster. Okay. So now, guys, type of clusters. Again, I am writing it here, guys. Everyone, type of clusters. Type of clusters. Type of clusters. Okay, guys. Type of clusters. Okay, guys. What is it? You have type of clusters. Type of clusters. So now, guys, what are the type of clusters you can have? Yes, guys. What are the type of clusters you can have? Or what are the type of? So we can say first one is what is that? All purpose cluster. All purpose cluster. And the second type of cluster, can you see here, guys? All purpose cluster. So, guys, all purpose cluster is nothing but, I'm just writing a 2-3 points on it. Okay, you can make it up. Okay, all purpose cluster. The all purpose cluster is created by the user in 3 different modes. In 3 different modes, that is called as, what is that? These 3 modes: standard, what is it? You have it, single, and high concurrency. Okay. Okay, high concurrency. These are the 3 modes. Whereas these clusters will be idle if not used for more than 120 minutes. More than 120 minutes. Okay, guys. So everyone is following now, please. So I'm audible now, everyone. Am I audible? I am audible to everyone, isn't it? Yeah, so that's fine. So anyways, you people are not audible to me. Might be some network issue from my end or whatever it may be. So anyways,
No, sir, you're audible. You're audible.
like I'm audible, that's enough for you. Okay, guys, if you have anything, you can just type it here. Okay, anyways, so we have, what is that? All purpose cluster is created by the user in 3 different modes, that is standard mode, single mode, high concurrency mode, where all these clusters will be idle if not in use, if not in use for more than 120 minutes, for more than 120 minutes. That's it, guys, for more than 120 minutes. Okay, so for more than 120 minutes. Okay, next after this. Okay, and now, guys, the second type of cluster, you have what? Job cluster. These clusters, or this cluster is created, guys, all of you make a note, is created by the system, by the system automatically okay, when the program is executed and okay, program is executed. The user, can you see here? The user cannot create it or delete it. Okay, guys, these are the 2 different type of clusters. Job cluster is created by the system. You will not have to do anything with the job cluster, and system will create it to run a job. Okay, then we have, what is that? You have it, guys, all purpose cluster. This is the only type of cluster what we can create it, guys. Okay, what we can create it. And when it comes to the third one called pool, basically the pool is not a cluster. Okay, but I'll explain you pool. Okay, pool is nothing but, guys, water pool means what? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by water pool? Type it. I'm not able to hear you guys. I want, if you want, you can type it. Water pool, where we store the water. Very good, very good, very good. Whereas, can you see here, a place where you have, okay, a place where you have, what is that, multiple shops is called as what? A place where you have multiple shops, mall, shopping mall, isn't it or not? A place where you have multiple shops is called as what? Shopping mall. Am I right, guys? So yeah, supermarket or mall, whatever we say. In the same way here, a place where you have, guys, a place where you have multiple, different type of clusters is called as a pool here. Basically, is called as a pool. Pool is nothing but a place where you have multiple clusters. It can be the combination of all purpose cluster, or it can be the combination of job clusters. See, make sure job cluster is created by system. You and me don't create it. It is auto created by the system and auto deleted by the system. Okay, you cannot create it and you cannot delete this particular, that is nothing but type of a cluster. Okay, am I right, guys? You cannot create it and you cannot delete it, this type of cluster. Okay, you cannot create it and you cannot delete it, this type of cluster. Whereas all purpose cluster is created by the user. We can create it, and we can create in 3 modes. What is that? Standard mode, single node mode, and high concurrency mode. High concurrency means what? High concurrency is nothing but basically it is a type of, where you have very massive amount of data input data is there, inflow. You're getting very massive amount of data. how to store it, how to take it. That is the only thing. For example, guys, if you are getting, suppose suddenly you got some unaccounted money, you got it unaccounted, very plenty of money. You will be confused where to store, where to keep that money, whether to keep it in a bank or you have to keep it in a home, etc., etc. This is type of confusion will arise immediately into your mind. Am I right, guys? This type of confusion will arise into your mind. In the same way here also, when you are getting a massive amount of data, the single node or standard node cannot handle that data. So for that we go for what? High concurrency. High concurrency mode is the highest, and it is very highly charged, very costly the high concurrency. So generally you can use the standard mode, or else you can also go for the single node machine. Okay, guys, these are the two modes you can use it: standard mode and what is that? High concurrency. Single mode cluster. Okay, guys, am I right, everyone? Just please come out with your doubts if you already have it. Okay, and then you have what is it? Clusters are of how many types? Two types: job cluster, all-purpose cluster, and pools. So what among these, what is it we can create it? Tell me now, guys. We can create only what is it? What is it we can do? We can create only what is it? We can create what is it? All-purpose cluster. We can create what is it? All-purpose cluster. We can create what is it? All-purpose cluster. Just a minute, guys. Okay, guys, so sorry. So we can have what is that? All-purpose cluster and job cluster and pools. And apart from this, you have the fourth thing. What is that? You have a cluster. Can you say cluster policy? Fourth one is cluster policy. All of you, are you able to hear me, guys? Because today I'm not able to hear you. There is a problem. I think there is some network issue. Cluster policy. Okay, cluster policies. So guys, cluster policies is nothing but what, guys? Cluster policies is nothing but every cluster will have its own policy. That means some rules you can give it, guys. For every purpose, for every cluster you can assign some rules. For every cluster you can assign some rules. So those rules you can mention it here: all purpose cluster, job cluster, and what's that? Pool. A pool means, what is an all-purpose cluster, guys? All-purpose cluster is nothing but it can be created or deleted by the user. Okay, guys, you can create it, you can delete it. You have this particular cluster. And what is that job cluster? You cannot delete it. This cluster. It is auto-created and auto-deleted by the system. Pool means what, guys? The combination of all-purpose cluster and job cluster stored at a place in a pool. That means you have 10 clusters are there in a pool. In a pool you have 10 clusters. So out of those 10 clusters, guys, 5 can be all purpose, 5 can be job cluster. So together all of them, it is called as a pool. And what do you make cluster policies? Every cluster has its own policies. That policies you can define it. Okay, define it is nothing but some rules you can change it. Okay, such as, by default this cluster terminates after 120 minutes if you are not using. That means if you are creating an all-purpose cluster, and if you can you see here, if you're creating an all-purpose cluster, it will be deleted after every 120 minutes of unuse. if you are not using it. So whereas guys, whereas that you can change it, instead of 120 minutes, you can make it as 5 hours. You can give 600 minutes, whatever you want. Getting my point, all of you? Now let us try to go ahead with the practicals and I'll show you all the things. Now guys, everyone, please. So now guys, how to create it? So for that, first of all, go to this. I'm just going ahead with this. So try to open this portal.azure.com. Already in the last class, I showed you how to open this. Okay, guys. So I think everyone is clear with this. So now we have, what is that? Just open this, guys, and now click on the resource group. Can you see here? You can click on this button. I'm repeating it once again. Click on the resource group. If you could not find this resource group, guys, once you are there onto the portal.azure.com, everyone, once you are there onto the portal.azure.com, once you are there onto the portal.azure.com. So guys, how to go to this portal.azure.com? You have to sign in. You have to sign in. First of all, go to, what is that? Azure.com. Guys, first of all, go to, what is that? Azure.com and sign in there. And once you sign in, can you see here, guys? Once you sign in, okay, once you sign in, then you will be automatically okay, then automatically you'll be taken up here. Okay, then automatically you will be taken up here. What is that? To this particular portal. What is it? Portal.azure.com. 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 Not visible. Just a minute. I will share it. Use sharing. Now is it visible, guys? Now is it visible, all of you? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now guys, so just here, so simply you need to go to portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com. Note it down, guys. This is a web page. Portal.azure.com. So now guys, I am pasting this web page here in this particular, here in this notepad only I'm pasting it. So first of all, you need to go to, what is that? Azure.com, guys. Azure.com. If those who have not signed in, for them I'm writing it. First of all, go to Azure.com. From the Azure.com, you have to write it here. What is that? You have to choose whether you want to go for free or pay as you go model. Pay as you go. Pay as you go. You can, what is that? Pay as you go. You can use, what is that? Pay as you go. You can use, what the pay as you go model. Okay. You can use, what's that? Pay as you go model. These are the two different models you have it. Free or the free will last for, guys. They will give you some points, 15,000 points, something like that. 13,000 points, 15,000 points, some points. So for every use, whatever you are using it, the points will be consumed. And once all the points are consumed, immediately you'll have to switch to the pay as you go model. Okay. So you need to have a credit card, and for that they will charge only 2 rupees on the credit card. So once you have signed in, guys, once you sign in, okay, once you sign in here, it will take you to the portal. The portal called what? Portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com. What is it? Portal.azure.com. So guys, this is the portal.azure.com. Okay. So portal.azure.com. Okay. This is the portal.azure.com. So now guys, this is the portal. This is the portal. You have it. Everyone able to see the screen here. So guys, see the screen here. Portal.azure.com. This is the thing. Now guys, first of all, you have to create the resource group. So on the resource group only everything will lie upon. So just click on the resource group. Already showed you the practical, but still I want to show you one more time. Click on the create, guys, click on the create. And now once you click on the create, guys, give the name, any name you can give it. I'm using, what is that? First session ADB. First session ADB. Okay, this is the name I'm using it. Click on the create. So for once you click on the create, it will go and check whether with the given name first session ADB, do you have any kind of name available? If not available, globally it will check, guys. If not available, validation will be passed. Now click on the create. Now guys, the resource group is ready. Check here. The resource group is ready. All of you clear now? This is the resource group. Anyways, where you have subscription ID, etc. Resource group is ready. Now I'm opening a new tab. Open the another portal. Same, another new portal. Open the new portal. Now guys, can you say Azure Bricks? What you have? Azure Databricks. You can find it here, Azure Databricks. So click on this. Now guys, click on the create. From the left blade, these are called as blades, guys. These are called as what? Blades. I'm repeating it once again. Click on this. These are called as blades. So click on the blade, left blade called create. And now select the resource group. You have created a resource group before you come to the session. No? So you just select the resource group here. First session ADB. Select it. Now you have to give the name of the workspace. Any name you can give it. Any name. There is no restriction for name. So I'm using what's it? DURGASOFT. Guys, DURGASOFT workspace. DURGASOFT workspace. Okay, guys. DURGASOFT workspace. This is the name we have it. That's it, guys. Nothing else is needed here. Nothing else is needed here. Now, guys, that's it. So click on the create. Validity. That means it will go and check with the given workspace. Do you have any workspace available? If not, click on the create option. What you want to show? What do you want me to show it once again? The workspace creation or what? Now the workspace creation is under the process. That means it is deploying. So we have to wait till the time resource group. So see, resource group is, you can create it here, guys. You can create it directly into the new tab. Resource group. So just open this portal.azure.com. And one more resource group I'm creating, don't worry. So click on the resource group. You have a tab, resource group tab. Or else if you don't find it on the desktop, you can click on the resource group here. Now guys, click on the create. Now you can give your own name. So I'm using what's it? Sample to DURGASOFT. Click on create. Validation. That means you don't have any name, that any resource group with the given name. Click on the create. That's it. See, this is the resource group. Go here. Got it? You have a subscription is this one, ADF and ADB Samir. ADF and ADB is a subscriber, and this is my subscription ID, and this is no deployments is done. This is the resource group. Now guys, can you see it? This is the section we have it. Simple. So now is it clear now? Please let me know if you're not clear. So now guys, the deployment is under the process. The deployment is under the process. This will take a minute time, as you know. Now guys, just check it here. That is the workspace is ready. So now guys, this is the hierarchy you have to follow. What is the hierarchy? Sorry, this is not yours. Now this is the hierarchy you have to follow, guys. What is the hierarchy? Check here. First of all, resource group is created. Under the resource group, you have to define the workspace. Under the workspace, you have to define the cluster. Am I right, guys? Everyone? Yeah, am I right, everyone? Yeah, please. Okay, guys. So now, so let's go here. Once it is, so we have to define the cluster now. We have to create a cluster. So for creating the cluster, guys, what is the way we have to follow? Just open this. Can you see here? The workspace has been launched, and now click on the launch. Click on the launch workspace. Click on the launch workspace, guys. I'm launching up. Now, guys, this is fine. Once it is launched, workspace is launching. What's your current data project? This is ignorable things. You can just ignore it, no problem. If you want, it's just a type of feedbacks. If you want, you can give your feedback. Now, guys, this is in the latest version of Bricks. Can you see it? Workspace? It's asking you to create a cluster. That means you can create directly from here. Directly, you can click on this and you can create the cluster. Okay, but actually, from here, can you see from the left blade, you can have compute. So you can click on the compute and you can make out the same. If you click on the compute, it will drive you to the same window, or else right now, whatever the thing we have done, even this is also driving you to the same. Okay, that is something, but click on the create cluster. So the creation of cluster, that means, can you see here, guys? This is the window. You go anyway, this is the window, you'll get it. But here, can you see all purpose cluster is there, job cluster. In the all purpose cluster, you have a create button. Go to the job cluster. You have a create button anywhere, guys? No, there will be no created button. So because we cannot create it. Pools. Can you see here? We can create a pool. In that pool, we can store the clusters. As I told you, the combination of all-purpose clusters, job clusters, will be stored in a place called, what is that, pool here. Okay, and we can give the cluster policies. Means what? this cluster should automatically get terminated after 6 hours, not after 120 minutes. And this cluster should be accessible only to 5 people of the project. That is nothing but Harsha, okay, Maninath, and Manmohan Kumar. I want to give the access only to 3 of them. I don't want to give the access to Narendra and Rahul. Okay. So in this case, guys, in this case, I can define my own cluster policy. That means this on this particular cluster, whatever the cluster I'm going to create, that cluster policy I'm restricting 2 people, and 3 people I'm allowing it. Okay, guys. So this is the way you have it. Okay. So now, so how to create the cluster? So for that, can you see here? Anyways, we will see this cluster policy. We will design it once we get into the subject. Go to the all-purpose cluster and click on the create option. And now, guys, here you have a name. Can you see here? I'm using this UI. That is nothing but user interface preview. So I just disable this. Disable it. You can give your own name now. I'm giving my name. What is the name I'm using it, guys? DURGASOFT cluster. DURGASOFT cluster. What is the name I'm using? DURGASOFT cluster. Okay. So now, guys, as I told you, cluster modes. These are the 3 modes you have it. The first one is high concurrency. Okay. High concurrency. And can you see high concurrency is here? You can choose a high concurrency also, but it will cost you a lot anyways. Now can you see here, guys? Terminate after how many time? What is the time you want to define it? So you can define the time here. Okay, what is it? In 1 minute of inactive interval must be between 10 and 1000 minutes. Getting my point? Likewise, you can select it. So this high concurrency is basically it will have a very high cost. So generally, I don't suggest here because we are practicing this thing. So I'm just going on to the standard one. That's it. Go to the standard. So go to the standard here. Cluster is standard cluster. Or single node means, can you see here, guys? Standard first, I'll show you. You will have worker node and driver node. Driver node is the master node, and worker node is the slave node, whatever you have it. By default, you will have, for this particular cluster, you will have 2 minimum worker. Maximum worker, you can make it 8, but you can increase and decrease as per your requirement. That's not a problem. Okay. So now, guys, the next one. What is it? You have it. Okay. That's it. So suppose I'm using a single here. Means here only one node, that is the driver node is there. Worker node, there will be no workers here. Getting my point, all of you? Getting my point, all of you? Yes, guys. So now this is the way we have it. So anyways, I'm using the standard here. You can change it here. Terminate after 120 minutes, it says, but I want to terminate it after 60 minutes, 1 hour only. Increasing the worker nodes means the workload, that is the work job, will be done faster. If you have 10 people, 10 people can do more job than 1 or 2 people. Am I right? The same logic is applied here. Processing of data, nothing else. Click on the create. That's it. So it's creating. We have to wait till the time it creates.
Hello. Am I audible, sir? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir can't hear you, Rahul. You can message him
Oh, okay,
on the
okay,
chat.
okay. I messaged actually. Yeah, no issues.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can message him. He can answer you.
yeah.
Now guys, it's created. Now guys, it's created, everyone. Yeah, the cost will obviously the cost will increase now. The more services you add, the more worker nodes you add, the cost will increase. Okay. So anyways, guys, the cluster is ready now. Now can you see here? Go to this compute now. Check it. There is an active cluster. This is the cluster. You can terminate this cluster. Can you see here? Do you want to terminate it cluster? Yes, I want to terminate, confirm it. Terminate means making it inactive, idle cluster. So this will become now idle cluster. Now, once it is idle cluster, the system is assume that is bricks is not going to charge you. If you want to activate it again, start the cluster. Guys, can you see here? Once the cluster is running or it is that is active, then only the bricks is going to charge from you. Okay, so once it's can you see it is being restarted now. It is restarting. So this is restarting now. It is restarted. The cluster here is the restarted. Now guys, we can use this. Okay, we can use this. Just check it. Put the control. We can use it. Now guys, this is the thing we have it. Just go here and check. That's it. Okay. Now the cluster is ready. Now you want to create a notebook. So for that, click on the notebook. Click on the notebook. And now guys, I'm using sample as a notebook. And this will run on the cluster called what? This is the cluster. And by default language is what? Python. You can change the by default language also. That doesn't matter. If it is not Python, you can change it. Now click on the create option. Now can you see here? The work that is the notebook will be created attached to this particular cluster. That's it, guys. Okay, now, guys, this is a cell. You can have as many cells as you want. So now, guys, this is the thing you have it. Okay. So now, guys, what I'll do is we'll write a very basic commands. We'll write a very basic commands now. and just I will show you in different languages how do you write it. Okay, guys, how do we write the same commands in a very basic one? Okay, so let us try to see this. I'm audible to everyone. Yes, please type anything, type, because I'm not able to hear you. Okay, guys, so now can you see here? By default, can you see here? It is in the Python. It is in the Python. So now suppose you wanted to, guys, suppose you wanted to change from Python to R. Obviously, you can change it here, R. And in the same way, you want to change it from R to what is that you have it? Can you see here? R to what is Scala. And now you want to change it from Scala to what is it? SQL. Can you see here? So now, guys, what is the, how many languages you are using it? Can you tell me now? Yes, guys, how many languages you are using it right now? You can tell me now. Okay, guys. So how many languages we have? We have 4 languages. Okay, 4 languages. Four, no? Yeah. One is the by default Python is here. And now this is the thing. Suppose now, guys, this particular, obviously this icon is provided. If it is not there, guys, these are called as what? Magic commands. Can you see here? Magic commands. So write it down. A magic commands here. Magic commands. Magic commands. So guys, what is magic commands? Magic commands are those which are used to change the language of the notebook. Okay. Notebook cell, where by default it runs on the Python. 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 That's it. So these are the to change the language, to change the language of the notebook. We can now can you see? We can use magic commands. Magic commands. Those are, the first one is, guys, the magic command is py, %py, or else you can use %python to change the language. Use what is it? %r. This is to R language. Then you have what's that? %SQL. %SQL to change the SQL as a language. Fourth one, what is it? You have it? %Scala. You can use like this. Guys, these are called as what? Magic commands. So here, can you see here? We can write all the things. Okay. Can you see here, guys? So I have it. So I'm writing here the basic command. Can you see here, guys? I'm using what's that? Okay. Print. Can you see here? I'm writing it in print. Okay. Print sc dot version. That means sc stands for Spark context. SC stands for what? Spark context. What is the Spark context version it's using it right now? Okay, guys. What are the environmental variables it will display? Can you see? Can you see here? What is the? Can you see here, guys? What is the Spark context it is using? Can you see here? It is using 3.2.1. This is the Spark context. Okay, guys. So this is nothing but the Spark context version it uses. Okay. Now, guys, I'm writing it here. So what is it actually? I'll write it here on the top. Can you see? I'm just commenting and writing it for your clarity. This is called as commenting, guys. This is called as a notebook. A notebook, guys. A notebook. A notebook attached to a running cluster. Notebook attached to a running cluster has a default, yes, guys, Spark environment okay. So environment variables okay, and that's it. So now, guys, environment variables, I'll write it here, one more point. So commenting, hash is for commenting, guys, making it inactive. Okay, one of the default environment variable is I think I have to add environment variable is what is the Spark context. SC, which stands for Spark context. That's it. Okay, that's it, guys. This is a command I'm writing it. Okay, this is the version. So now, guys, can you see here, guys? You can put the control in the cell and use what's that control. Can you see shift enter? Use shift enter to execute the cell here. Use shift enter to execute the command. Okay, so this is the thing we have it now, guys. Now can you see here? I'm using one more thing. Spark version. What is the Spark version it is using? So can you see here? I want to see the Spark version. So I'm just adding one more cell here in the same, or else we can use it here. You want to know what is the Spark version? So I'm using print of Spark dot version. Print of Spark dot version. Okay. So okay, Spark version. So the above one is, what is that? The above one is the Spark that is context. And now I'm using the Spark version. See here, the Spark version is also the same, and the Spark context is also the same. Okay, guys. The next one after this. Now I wanted to write a simple this thing code here. That is print. Print means only printing. Print of yeah, that's true, I think. Yeah, that's true. Just a minute. Now, guys, I'm audible. Now, can you talk somebody?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm audible. I will tell you. Yeah, that's fine, guys. Okay, thank you. So now, guys, can you see here? So print off. Can you see here? What is it I'm using? Print off. I'm writing some command here. Print. I'm using this is okay. This is my first Databricks notebook. Okay, guys, this is the command I'm writing it. Now use shift and enter. Choose shift and enter. Okay, so I want to print. If you want, you can add one more cell also. It doesn't matter. If you want, you can add one more cell. Okay, I'm adding one more cell here. So this cell also will be compiled on the. Can you see here? I'm removing it now from this cell. I'm just putting up this cell. Same. Okay, guys, run this now. If default I'm not writing anything, then it will run on the Python only. Okay, now guys, run this. This is my first Databricks notebook. All of you clear? Yes, guys? Yeah. Nobody want to answer? You can speak out, guys.
Yes,
Now
sir.
I'm able to hear you. Please.
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
Now, guys, now you want. Can you see here? In a single notebook, we can execute the code that is code in different languages. So what's that we have to do? We have to use the magic command. So I'm using what's that? Can you see here? So see here, can you see? So guys, just check here. So what I'm doing is R. So if at all you want to use this R here, okay, or if at all you want to write the same in R, print. Can you see here? Print. Print. So whatever you want, you can print it. That's not a problem. So I'm using the same command here. Okay, guys. Print off. Okay. So okay, guys. First of all, I'll write it. Okay. On the Scala, no issues. We can write it anything. So I'm writing the Scala. So put the control here. Scala. So use for Scala print ln means what? Line. Print line. Okay. Print line. I'm using what's it? Same. This is my. This is my. Guys, what is that? Databricks notebook. Just put the control here. That's it. Run this now. Control enter. Got it? Just a minute. It's executing the Scala. Got it now? This. So I have used a did. Yes. Use it. Okay, guys. In Azure Databricks, in a single notebook, you can execute the command in what is that? Multiple. You can execute the command in what's that? Multiple languages. Getting my point? Multiple languages. What's that next thing? Now, guys, what's that? R. So I'm using the in R. We can use directly print. Print off. Print off. Print off. again, this is my first Databricks notebook. Okay, guys. So anyways, so use here, Control Enter. Okay, guys, this is my first notebook. But can you see here, when you're using the Scala and you're using the above Python, if at all, even though I'm using it in the double quotes, the output is giving without the double quotes, okay. But here in R, it is printing along with the double quotes. Yes, guys, are you able to see here? Everyone, please answer.
Yes, sir.
So now you want to remove that. I don't want the double quotes to be displayed in R. So for that, I'm writing it here, guys. If you don't want double quotes, comma, use comma. You can quote equal to false. Quote equal to false. Now, guys, any double quotes is coming now? Now, guys, huh? All of you, what happened?
No, sir.
No, double quotes is not coming.
So this is how we can write it. And now, guys, now SQL, I'm writing it here. Okay. Can you see here? I'm going to create a table. Table name is what is that? Employees. Normal SQL, you can write it here. Okay. So create table, what's that? Employees, guys. Create table employees. Okay. And okay. Then we have what is that? Create table employees. And now I want ename. What is it I want? Tell me now. Ename varchar. What's it? Varchar. I want varchar 20. Varchar 20. Okay, guys, use what's it? Varchar 20 and use it here. That's it. Varchar 20. That's it. Okay, varchar 20. So use it here. Or else we can add one more column if you want. Integer. Sorry, what's it? Employee ID. Employee ID, guys. I want what is that? Employee ID. Okay, what is it? You have to use integer. Okay, you have what is it? Okay, so this is the way you have it. So I think it will not work. Yeah, can you see here, guys? Updating. Can you see here? It's creating or not? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's creating. Okay, now do one thing now. Now use what is it? Select star from employees. Okay, guys, select it. Now, anyways, we have to use control. What is it? Already exists. Not table already exists. So it's executing even the select command. So now I don't want to execute the select command. Sorry, it's also executing the create command. That's the reason why it's giving you this error. Now put the control here. Now, guys, as you want to run this onto this, this is running in Python. Now I want to change it. What is the magic command I have to use? Tell me now. %SQL. That's it. Now it will run. See here. It should run now. Yes, guys. So, anyways, Alex.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the thing we have it. Okay. So can you see here? It's giving us what? Ename string, ID integer. The entire data it's giving you. Okay. So this is how it works. Okay, guys. So this is how it works. So now, guys, we have executed all the 4 languages and 4 commands. This is how we can write the things. Okay, clear, all of you? Okay, guys. Then we'll stop the class here. Okay. Just stopping the class here today, and we'll continue tomorrow and day after tomorrow. There will be a holiday on account of the Shera festival. We'll meet again on Thursday. Thursday morning, 10 a.m. we'll meet. Okay, guys. We'll meet Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Okay, guys.
Yeah, okay. So when we will get the recording, so we have to create Databricks. So we are getting problem to create.
Yes, just a recording. You go and you can call DURGASOFT. You can just do Muskan. You can get in touch with by evening. Today evening they will upload the recording. Okay, and guys, we'll create a WhatsApp group also for Databricks. You can ping me on this number. So we'll create a WhatsApp group. If you have anything related to the subject, you can get back to me on this. Okay. So guys, what is it? You have it. 8096374412. This is my number, guys. You can ping me on this. We'll create a WhatsApp group, and just give me your name, guys. Give me your name and your number, mobile number. I mean to say, okay, your name, your mobile number. I'm giving the format. You have to give it mobile number, and then you have to give your email ID. And that's it. Okay, and that is nothing but that's it, guys. So once this is, you give it here. So yeah,
I have a question.
Tell me.
Yeah, actually I joined, means attended, I think I missed 2-3 classes earlier. So apart from Databricks account, we have to create account in Azure also, right? For using this. Or only one account will do, like from Azure portal itself will work.
If you create the Azure portal, ADB and ADF, both you can work.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. So that's it from my end. So all of you, happy Dashera, and I'm just logging off for the day. So we'll meet. Okay, guys. If so, we'll have it on 10 a.m. on next Thursday. Okay, Thursday 10 a.m. So all of you just connected by 10 a.m. All of you, don't delete. The link will be, I think, the same. If any changes in the link, I'll put it in the group. So I want everyone to just ping me off so that we create a WhatsApp group, and anything changes is there, we can get in touch, all of you. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm ending the class now.